Okay, now that we have our stored procedure for our insert already, let's go in and figure out how do we actually do it in code. What do we do in our code to actually execute that stored procedure? I have my add student form up here as my example. And again, yours will be very similar. In this case here, I created quite a few variables that I'm going to collect from my form. Here's where I collect them from my form. Of course, in this case, I did not go through the process, which is not very good coding on my behalf, and maybe not very good teaching on my behalf, of validating them all. Obviously, you would validate because you want to make sure you're storing good data, and so you should have validation all through here, taking everything off the form. Okay, so just don't follow what I'm doing. Just do what I say in that case, right? Sorry about that. Again, for sake of time and for sake of understanding, so we don't get too confused here, I'm putting everything in these variables. Again, you would validate this before you did that. Okay? We connect to our database, and look how simple what we're going to be doing here in this case here. We're going to create some command text, which we're going to execute. In this case, we're going to execute with the store procedure name. And as you see, I build out this string right here, okay, that passes all those parameters. Does that make sense? All right. Do you everybody see how easy that is in that case here? You can kind of look at the different ones all the way through. Note that what I'm doing here, everything it's separated by, it's not like your inserts when you did it in line, but every parameter you pass should have a single quote around it. So the double quotes is concatenating the string. And hopefully you know what that means by now. I'm stating it's a stored procedure, and I'm stating that I want to go ahead and I have my new command, where this is my command text, right? This is going to be my stored procedure, and I'm going to now execute non-query. This is execute non-query, just like it was before when it came to an insert, and it will now insert that. What I do here is to make sure everything works well, I would sit back. I can close my connection, but if my rows affected, okay, is greater than 0, I know I inserted it. So hopefully I only insert 1. That's where I'm looking for. If it's not greater than 0, if I have no rows affected, there was something wrong with my insert, and my insert actually failed. Okay, and so this is my little checklist to make sure that everything worked right. Okay, and so after I executed, if the rows affected would be returned on how many rows were actually, in this case, inserted. It would be the exact same thing for an update, rows affected, okay, in this case, okay? And that's how you do you call your stored procedure. You basically just pass all the parameters instead of putting them in a large insert statement like you did previously in line, and you would just basically pass them all to a stored procedure. I don't know, is that more simple? I think so. And also what's nice is now you have a stored procedure. You don't have to copy that code. You can use it, if other people could use it if they're storing the same row from different applications. They don't have to rewrite that insert in line. Now they can just use the stored procedure that's sitting on the database to do the insert into that particular table. Make sense? There you go.